Adventures 19. We are on the way to Perth because we need to figure some stuff out and check out windows for the box of the Unimog. And since all the shops, or most of them, are only open during the week, we had to finish work early. And yeah, we're almost in Perth now. Are you excited, Patrick?
Yeah, let's go get some stuff.
Woo!
Spend our weekly money that we earn.
Oh.
Ready?
So now, more sanding of the other parts. I had to spontaneously help out in the packing shed this morning, but Patrick kept sanding, and now I'm back sanding some more parts. So much fun! Yay! And Patrick's sanding the air tank. Check it out, so much rust.
That was behind this little marker.
Yeah, there was a piece of metal on it.
This
yeah.
one.
And underneath there was a hell lot of rust.
So I am wire wheeling all these brackets because they're pretty rusted and disgusting looking. So wire wheeling them off so we can put primer, paint, and then put them back onto the Unimog. These are some of the last things we have to do, like the little details that nobody really wants to do, but if you've gone this far, you might as well. So without further ado, this is what it looks like rusty, and now it's been wire wheeled. Nice and shiny again.
We're back on the other part. And I made Patrick some things. Iced chocolate delivery.
Thank you.
So I'm preparing the spring with primer, and we put rust converter on it as well. And Patrick started spray painting the second coat. So much better.
So I'm up early to get some painting done. Got everything ready, paint gun, my dust spray paint mask. So yesterday night I made these paint hooks for all these parts. Just so we can hang them up. They don't have to lay on any surface. Yeah, some of these parts actually need to get primed because there's no more paint left on them. They were that rusty. And others just need to get a little paintbrush of primer on them. That's what Yetta's going to be doing when she gets out of bed. And yeah, then we'll start painting them all and hopefully putting them back in. Oh yeah, and taped over the usable part of the threads. Because you don't want to put paint on those, because or else you have a hard time getting the nuts back on.
while Patrick's in the workshop over there, I'll start taking the door apart. This bit, which is kind of ugly, and the handle of the window. I found something underneath. Look at this little grasshopper. How did you get in there, mate? It's Sunday and it's time to take care of the cabin again. So look at it. It's a bloody mess. We'll have to take everything out and then we'll explain to you what we do next. We took the door seal off because of our leak and we found so much rust. There's even a hole here. Look at this. No more mess in the cab, so now we can get started. We decided to go for this product, which is a thermal liner, and they usually use it for sheds to insulate them. And we will put that on top of the body deadener we sprayed, and that should definitely make a big difference. I started creating templates so we know the shapes we need of the insulation and we don't waste a lot.
So Jelle is tracing out the first of the insulation. See how good this works.
I'm getting cooked.
It's pretty reflective and sunny out, so she's getting a tan from both sides at the same time.
I haven't seen Patrick in a while and I know he's in the workshop, so let's check on him. This is the shed. Here we go. Patrick's here. So this is the brake cylinder and it looks like he wire wheeled everything down to bare steel. Looks like new.
Will be new.
You're having fun?
Yep.
Look at your hands. Yuck.
Not that bad.
Yuck, Patrick. We're now putting the mug back together. How exciting!
putting a bit of moly grease onto all our nuts and bolts to make sure they don't rust through and rust together again like they were. We use this instead of like copper anti-seize. It's better to use something that's not copper based. Yeah, so we're using this stuff.
The lateral link, and like this, just like this, it doesn't fit. So now we'll strap it so to get this side closer to this side, and then it should fit in again. As you can see here, it's coming closer the more Patrick's strapping it down. So in case you have the same issue, the strap helped us a lot. And then Patrick was hammering with this hammer from the other side, and it came closer and closer and closer, and then we had to hammer it up, and then at the end it fit perfectly, so we could put the bolt back in. Now it fits again. We are back. It's freezing cold.
It's not that cold.
It is. Just Patrick's never cold. And we're putting in the second shock absorber.
Yep.
This one's already in, and we'll do this side.
So what we're doing is using a little wire brush end on the drill, just to clean up the inside and make sure there's no rust in there. Then I'll put some grease in there. Same for the eyes on the shock absorber. So just to see there's no rust in there. And then grease up the bolts, stick them in, and then we are.
We replaced all the bolts here as well. Now they're nice and shiny again. How do you like it?
I like it.
While I'm working on another video, Patrick continued putting Moggy back together. Look at this. So he started with one of the air tanks, and we decided to replace the bolts. So they look really good actually on the black chassis. Our next step is installing the air tank. The mount's already on there. And now it's the same like before. The first one is in and 2 more are coming. They go back there. These 2 air tanks are back in, but some other parts are still missing here. And what we use, and what is really helpful, is pictures that we took before, so we know how to put it back together. Wish us luck! And now, this bit. Just so you don't do the same mistake we did.
Don't over tighten your bolts.
Yeah, so this is the strap of the air tanks, and if you tighten them too much, they break. So don't do it. We'll weld it back together and put it back on. But please don't make the same mistake we did.
So it is after work and it's already dark outside. So we want to get some stuff done anyway because we don't want to be not productive. So I'm going to try and put on the ship tie down points, which are painted and waiting for a couple weeks already, just in the rain again, so it can rust. And hopefully put the sway bar back on. As you can see, there's been some rust forming again, even though these have been inside. I just wire wheeled the ship tie down bolts. And then we'll grease them all up and put everything in and hopefully get it done today. I'm now trying to fit the mounts for the sway bar that are nice and painted and new and shiny again. I just pulled out the little pin that sits right here, just to give it a good wire wheel, and now I'll grease it up before I put it in there, and I'll grease up this surface just to try to have some sort of barrier in there so the water, if we ever go through water when it rains, water doesn't just sit here, which is what's gonna make it rust again. And then screw in the 2 bolts. put grease on those too, of course. Alright, so now that all the bushes are cleaned, as you can see here, just cleaned them with some soap and water and brushed them off. Make sure there's no dirt on them because they've been laying there for a while. Now we'll get the sway bar installed again. Make sure you put the second part of the mount onto the sway bar before you attach it all onto the axle, or else you won't get it back on there. Oh, and we'll be greasing some of these with some rubber grease. Alright, so new day, new try. Couldn't do this last night, just didn't want to work on me, so gonna try it again today. Yida's gonna help me.
Woo!
And yeah, we'll just put it up, try and put this on, clamp it to the axle again, and then I can finish putting the sway bar in.
Let's go. And now we're tightening it with a breaker bar and a extension.
Just applying the correct amount of torque. Lot.
So now we are putting the bushes back on and in.
There's one.
And there's the other one. It's not that easy to get it back on, but with a screwdriver it will work. And it's back on. The two bushes of the sway bar are already back in, and I will show you how Patrick did it.
Putting some rubber grease on it first, just to keep them lubed a bit and protected from water and stuff.
Yeah, so we use this one. Red rubber grease from Castrol.
And prime.
And the sway bar link goes back on.
It's been a while since these have been on.
Yeah. Nice and greasy. So where are the covers, Patrick?
Probably somewhere in the grass down there. Maybe I should get a hedge trimmer.
And now he's using a magnet and trying to find it. He found one.
Ah!
Here we go, and the other one. He's been looking for it for a while. And he found bolts and nuts.
What else I can
And I don't know what else under the grass. The next part we're putting back on is the fuel tank mount. And Patrick's done one already. Now the second one. Yeah, greasing everything. Very important. And we actually got new bolts as well.
14 by 35, I think.
Is it fine thread?
Yep. Metric fine. 1.5.
like pretty much
And
everything.
we got washers, which weren't there before.
Nice. And this is what it looks like when it's back on.
So now I'll put it back on.
It's raining. So much fun.
Willst du rein?
We finally started building our box, which is super exciting.
Woohoo!
And probably the more enjoyable part, which included a lot of cutting, grinding, measuring, welding, and it was a real test for a nurse. But just have a look and stay tuned for the next episode.